Good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions, Market Insider TV. This is our opening commentary. It's Wednesday morning, July the 16th. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's talk about these markets in here. As a stock market lower overnight now has turned higher following the PPI numbers that were released this morning. Corn higher in the overnight for the third consecutive session. That's nickel better. Beans almost a dime higher. Meal is turning higher after contract lows yesterday, and the wheat futures are the laggard, down a couple pennies overnight. Dollar index is a little bit softer. We looked at the TV segment last night, looked at the charts. That market has broken its downtrend, even though it is trading a little bit lower. Nat gas up a couple ticks again, while crude oil continues to work a little softer in the overnight trade. Just programming notes, I'll be doing RFD TV today, Thursday, and Friday mornings the rest of this week. I'll be out of the office on Friday after that TV appearance. All right, let's get into some of the news here today, as we don't have a lot. Usually Wednesdays are kind of a slow morning as far as news goes. We did have PPI numbers this morning. We'll have energy stocks later this morning, and hog weights will be out today, but generally it's a kind of a quiet lull type day. So it's good to see the grains having a bounce in here, but it's really off of technicals more than any fundamental news. In fact, weather maps continue to look beneficial here. Nearly ideal growing conditions across Corn Belt. The check of the 6-10 day and the 8 to 14 day does have warm temperatures, but it also has a lot of precip. Next week should see a lot of precip in the 6 to 7 day time frame across that eastern belt, where they probably need it more than the western belt. But there's plenty of moisture to go around. I know it rained in the western belt, and our Yankton, South Dakota office, Sioux Falls, received rain overnight as well. It's expected by this weekend we're going to have half the corn crop pollinated, and it should pollinate under pretty good conditions. We've heard some local areas that have not had such good go of it for pollination. They're concerned about how the crop has pollinated. But for the most part, we think this crop's going to be well pollinated here in another week. PPI numbers that were out this morning. I talked about this last night, that the CPIs were a little bit bearish, but the PPI was a little bit friendly. 2.3% year over year PPI. Expectations were 2.5%. So this is considered a positive number, and yesterday we saw a little bit of a negative number as far as inflation, and that had me thinking, if they're talking inflation again, we won't be seeing an interest rate cut anytime soon. Of course, this number argues the opposite. It was a little bit friendly and argues that we should have an interest rate cut. So we're going to see probably choppy markets here, and really the reaction after we open at 8:30 will be the key. Yesterday, after the CPI numbers came out, we tried to rally, and then when we opened at 8:30, that opening range was the high for the day session, and we just continued to work lower after that. That was bearish, in my opinion. We had June NOPA crush out yesterday. It came in 185.7 million bushels, slightly above estimates and well above last year, but it is down from last month. Oil stocks were very friendly here at 1.366 billion pounds. That was slightly above estimates, still down from last month, and well below last year's numbers. In fact, for the month of June, this was the lowest oil stocks in 21 years. Taiwan millers bought 90,000 metric tons of U.S. milling wheat overnight. Jordan issued a tender for 120,000 optional origin wheat for milling wheat, actually. And in the cattle country, we saw a nice rally in the futures yesterday. The cattle facts show list steady at 223,000 head. And the calls were a little bit weaker to start the week, but they've firmed up here now to more of a steady type go as cutout values rallied on Tuesday. If we can sustain those gains in the cutouts, we could be looking at another steady to possibly higher cash trade week. That's going to be the keys. If these cutout values turn lower, we need those cutouts to stay strong here, showing consumer demand remains strong at these higher price levels. And that's always the concern here. So we'll see if Tuesday was a one-day wonder in the cattle market, see if we can build on that a little bit here. But certainly the higher cutouts are going to be a driving force for that market. All right, have a great day, everyone. Good luck on your trades. This has been Brian Hoops from Midwest Markets. We'll talk to you again soon.